everyone. Hi everyone, and welcome to TWF Power or Might. I, Jonathan Coachman, with Sarah Shiver, and with Paulie Dangerously here. And today on Power or Might, we now know who won the Kingly Thunder yesterday. It was Rainbow Bright, which is going to end up giving her the right to fight Cody Rhodes for the TWF heavyweight and world heavyweight winnings, Jonathan Coachman says. Well, you're right about that, Jonathan. Rainbow Bright won the Kingly Thunder yesterday. You can watch that film if you want to. And there weren't really too many wrestlers in that, Sarah Shiver says. Hey, I want to tell you right now, Jonathan and Sarah, sadly, Paulie Dangerous says, my man, Roman Reigns, did not win the Kingly Thunder. You know, he was going to come in, the last one in there. He was going to overman, strike, spear, take out Rainbow Bright, throw out that Harmark self, that deep glee self, whatever you want to call her. But sadly, it wasn't to be. Well, sometimes in life, Paul, things don't always go the way we want them to go, you know. And even if you're a high leader, highest leader, or a king or a kaiser or overlord or overwatcher of some kind or a kinhead, things still do not go your way. And I wonder how Rainbow Bright is going to deal with knowing that she'll be fighting Cody Rhodes for the TWF heavyweight and world heavyweight winnings. You know, Jonathan Coachman says. Well, we'll have to see we'll have to see how all that plays out in the upcoming weeks, you know, and see if Rainbow Bright is ready, to see if Rainbow Bright is ready to take on, ready to fight Cody Rhodes for the TWF, heavyweight and world heavyweight winnings. Jonathan Coachman says. Oh, fuck. Here comes Ford to the ring, and we're not going to make the same mistake that we made yesterday by pulling the bin instead of pulling the seat. Alright, Ford says, I didn't win the Kingly Thunder. That's on me. I truly thought that I would win the Kingly Thunder, and then I thought that I'd go on, I'll be the one fighting Cody Rhodes for the TWF heavyweight and world heavyweight winnings. But you see, unlike Drew McIntyre, who would come out here, he'll either guilt or shame everyone else for why he couldn't get it done. He'll guilt and shame the whole world for why he didn't win that match. And sadly, that's what he'll do. But you see, I'm not like Drew McIntyre. I'm not going to come out and guilt and shame the whole world for why I didn't win the match. That's on me. That's on me for why I didn't win the match. And I can tell you right now, what was that all for, Jonathan Coachman says. Drew McIntyre just knocked out, Ford from behind and gave him a Claymore kick, Jonathan Coachman says. Like a bully, like a weakling, Sarah Shiver says. And he wonders why no one onlooks him. Hey, sometimes in life you gotta do things like that, Paulie Dangerously says. I've done many things like that. and I overseen wrestlers in AWA and WCW and ECW and WWF and WWE who did things like that. Not that I'm saying it's right, but I'm just saying sometimes that thing happens. So for, you gonna bloody run your mouth about me? It was you for, you're the grounds to why I didn't win the Kingly Thunder. What is it with me being fucked with? First, I get fucked with some kind of Disney Marvel self, or should I say a North folklore self. Then I get fucked with a Hallmark Deep Glee self. Rainbow Bright, but I could care less about her. It's more about you. For you want to run your mouth about me? I came from Ollie's, and I came from Ollie's and Walmart. You came from Big Lots, so now you came from Five and Below, so shut the fuck up. You are the grounds why I didn't bloody win the Kingly Thunder. Well, oh, and he just took down 4 again. And now Drew McIntyre is now getting out of the ring just like the weakling, like the bully that he is, Jonathan Coachman says. Well, Sarah Shiver says, we don't want to hear him. You don't want to hear him hear you say that, because next he might come after you next. You know, sadly, a lot of folks are not shielded. You might have the right to free speech, but don't mean Drew McIntyre not going to like what you're going to say. And now it looks like that 4 is coming after Drew McIntyre. But 4, you saw what happened out there, Daniel Bryan. You saw it. So give me a match with Drew McIntyre here today on Powerrr or Might. Alright, I'll give it to you. You know I'm strongly against it. I'll give it to you. And if you want 4, your hammer can be lawfully worked in the match. Well, thank you. Well, we just know the match for today. We know the match here today. You know, on Powerrr or Might, it's going to be 4 fighting Drew McIntyre. And yes, the hammer can be lawfully worked in the match now. Jonathan Coachman says, yeah, well, that might be true. It don't mean Drew McIntyre. Yeah, and I wonder where he's at right now. Don't mean Drew McIntyre's going to like it. Oh! And now Jonathan Coachman said 4 getting even on Drew McIntyre. And Drew McIntyre can see how it's like to be beat up like a bully, like a weakling. Jonathan Coachman says at least 4 is doing it leer to leer, eye to eye. 4 just knocked down Drew McIntyre again with that hammer. John McCoachman said, alright, Sarah Shiver says, say what you're going to say, but the hammer was made lawful in this match by the main overseer, Daniel Bryan. So 4 can lawfully hit Drew McIntyre with the hammer as many times as he feels fit, as he feels he wants to do it, Sarah Shiver says. I'll tell you what, Drew McIntyre, he hopefully might be, wise enough to get out of the ring. Yeah, and I think he is. Drew McIntyre's had enough. He's leaving. He's going to get a reckoning out. He could care less about this win, care less about this win or about this loss, here today on Powerrr or Might. The Fight Lord reckoning him out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Stand up. Ding, ding. Fuck. The Fight Lord has reckoned Drew McIntyre out. The winner of this match, by a reckoning out, the god of thunder. Well, Powerrr won this match here today on Power and Might, but need be not the way that he wanted to win it, Jonathan Coachman says. Knowing Powerrr, he most likely wanted to get a 1-2-3, or he wanted to get a yielding on Drew McIntyre. But sadly, it doesn't look like, that was going to happen, Jonathan Coachman says. No, it doesn't look like that was going to happen, Sarah Shiver says. But you got to get a win where you can get the win at. You have to get the win where you can get it. And it might not have been the way that Powerrr wanted to win the match, Sarah Shiver says. But he has to take the win the way he can get it. And I wonder what spin Drew McIntyre is going to put on why he lost to Powerrr, or why he walked out on a match with Powerrr here today on Power and Might, Paulie Dangerously said, because I would like to know how he's going to handle losing to him. Well, speaking of that, we have Bob Walk now, and he's going to be talking with Powerrr. All right, Jonathan Coachman, Sarah Shiver. I'm going to be talking with Powerrr here today on Power or Might. All right, Powerrr, we know the reckoning out wasn't the way you wanted to win your match here today. No, Bob Walk. Winning this match here today was not the way I wanted to win it, I wanted to go out there. I wanted to get a 1-2-3 or a reckoning on Drew McIntyre. But sadly, that wasn't going to be. But you got to take a win where you can get it. And sadly, Drew McIntyre is a weakling. And he started something with me. But Bob Walk, I'm going to end it. So it is well to say that you're wrong. Your war with Drew McIntyre is not over. And for longing. Yes, it's not over. My war, my wrong with Drew McIntyre is not over. It is for longing. Alright, that's my talk with Powerrr. Back to you, Jonathan Coachman and Sarah Shiver. Well, thank you, Bob Walk, for talking with Powerrr here today on Power or Might. As all the time we got here for Power and Might. I, Jonathan Coachman, with Sarah Shiver and Paulie Dangerously, we hope you like Power and Might, and we'll see you tomorrow for Monday Night Raw, or Moonday Night Raw.